Rub Some Dirt on It podcast with Brandon Straker and Jeff Pierce.
You cry over lights on your little phone screen. We cried when our bikes hit a rock unseen. But we got back up, we didn't throw a fit. Just dusted off, kid, rub some dirt on it.
All right. Episode 2, buddy. We're
Episode 2, rub some dirt on it,
Yeah.
bitch.
I love your enthusiasm, dude. I think we got audio figured out, dude. I don't want to be jinxing nothing and stuff. I think we're fucking rocking and rolling. Because I almost pulled that cord out. I didn't start coughing from
Like
smoking
we haven't
a joint.
restarted before or
Yeah,
something.
I didn't start coughing from smoking a joint this week. I do have something in my teeth because I was snacking because of the weed. But
Because you smoked it before we started.
yeah, exactly. Preparation, man. Preparation. I think we're very excited. You guys will be hearing our intro and stuff. We got a song. We got, tell them who we got.
We got a song. We got an intro from Celebrity Voice.
Yeah. Should we tell them who that was?
We'll maybe let's save it for a couple of weeks, see if somebody can figure it out. Okay, we can tell them. It's Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, dude. And
Yeah,
the reason I wanted to
voice.
tell them was so you guys can look this motherfucker up. He's a legend.
Yeah, he is.
Do you have a favorite Burt Reynolds movie?
I guess I would just go to the classic, Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first one. The second
Yeah.
one was okay. Then they just got kind of stupid. But the first one was amazing. I remember watching that when I was just a kid.
Yeah.
And going to the theater and watching it. And
Epic voice, epic mustache, dude.
Yeah.
Man's man, Burt Reynolds, dude.
yeah.
Great fucking name too,
yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
know, just a manly, manly name. I wonder, was he ever in any scandals?
The biggest scandal
Hopefully we're not sitting here be like, he's fucking cool
the
as shit.
biggest
He wasn't
scandal I
some
know of that he was in was the toupee scandal.
because he's bald.
Because he was bald, he wore a toupee most of his career.
Yeah, that does make you look a little insecure for a man with that great of a mustache, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that now.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, he was. Yeah, I mean, you hear that he was kind of an asshole to women and stuff, but you never hear about the Me Too type stuff.
Yeah,
Or at
which
least
is
I
good.
haven't.
I mean, it was the 70s back then, you know?
Yeah, back then it wasn't
So-
Me Too. It was let's all.
Yeah. I always say, dude, it just, I think people have gotten uglier over the years, you know?
He used to bang Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah. I think just the whole, Me Too, there's definitely obviously predators and shit out there, but, I think that shit, if these guys were a little better looking, had a little more money, it wouldn't be, all these guys, especially in Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein, for example, getting Me Too'd and shit, for a bunch of terrible stuff. But had he looked, had he looked like Brad Pitt, dude.
Yeah, they wouldn't have talked about it until he died.
No, dude. Back then, when they look like Brad Pitt, it's I do. It's not Me Too. You know what I mean? They're just like they're gonna lock that shit down.
Me Too, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna try it. When you have money and you're good looking, they're usually trying to lock that shit down and stuff instead of
It's
being
like a giant bridge troll like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
Nobody wants your wilted cock near them. Anybody wants to watch you stroke it into a house plant in the lobby of a hotel either.
Usually the motherfuckers that are super good looking and wealthy, like when they get Me Too'd, it's just because I'm not even gonna say that, dude. I'm not gonna finish.
Because I was gonna bring up a name.
I was gonna say, well, a lot of times I don't even want to say a lot of times. Some of the time, it has to be that the woman's pissed off that the dude was banging someone else or something like that.
There is some of that. There's some
there's
that-
some
that-
of the
that
time.
he didn't leave his wife.
They're
type of
they're
stuff.
mad because he didn't choose them. Ultimately, I think dudes do that shit too. Terrible things because of jealousy or fucking,
Yeah,
feeling-
but for a dude, they call it stalking.
yeah, feeling less than. Usually, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, dude. I will. So I had a buddy that was a police officer. He's like a detective, and he was telling me, he's like, it's an astronomical, and I don't want to say like all the time, but he's like, it's a kind of sad, the number of times though that they'll get called out on like a sexual assault type of call, and it'll be because like
She's pissed because he's gonna go out with his boys after they fucked.
well, no, it'll be like he catches her cheating and she says that's what happened.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like he's like a whole shitload of these calls we get, like that we find out that the chick was cheating on the dude, and he found out, and that's what she said happened because she got busted. Um, and I'm sure there's times where dudes, that I'm sure there's a bunch of times that really happens. Probably more often than not, it's not that part of it that the woman's just being honest. The guy was a piece of shit, you know. But it would suck, you know.
No, there's definitely crazy fucking women out there.
Mhm.
I've had to file restraining orders twice in my life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's
I
definitely
still find that hilarious, dude.
crazy bitches out there.
I've never had to file a restraining order on a woman, but I've dealt with my fair share of crazy ones. That's for sure. I can't imagine what the crazy dudes are like though, because I hear stories from girls too about dudes just being so fucking scary and creepy. You
Yeah,
know?
well, because usually the guy's just a douchebag or whatever. But
Yeah,
if a guy is clingy and creepy like that and stalkerish and stuff, I don't
yeah.
understand that. I mean,
Girls will tell me these dudes will just be like I remember when I was doing the roasted creeper thing and stuff. I would get girls sending me these messages of the creepy dudes.
but they sent her
All the different shit, and it's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
So there's not a doubt in my mind that more often than not the dude's just a piece of shit and a predator and scary and creepy and gross, and you know because I mean, fuck, dude. There was that one. Do you remember? So I don't know if you caught any of those videos.
I caught
Yeah,
them,
but
but
there was a dude.
not like I remembered them, but I watched them.
You remember? Homegirl is a comedian. Uh,
Tana, is it
not
Tana?
no, Robbie's daughter.
Oh,
It,
Julia.
yeah, Julia. So she was sending me that. I don't. She ain't never gonna watch this, but if she did have, sorry, Julia. But she had sent me this dude, and his name on Facebook was Repo Hunishot, right? And fuck, I need to see if I can find these messages from all these texts that he had sent her. They'd be great to read. But yeah, Repo Hunishot, and he was just like, would not take no for an answer, dude. And he's like, I feel like she told him she was. Oh, he offered to buy, like, give her a ride and buy her some Nikes and shit, dude. If she hooked up with them, and then
I got the feeling that she probably got that quite a bit
yeah,
by her day job, or I guess not day job, but regular
just
job.
some of the people I seen her hanging out with and shit. So they were
I wonder why.
type where
I wonder why she quit doing comedy.
I know she was funny.
Yeah, she was getting good. She was getting really good.
Yeah, she'd have.
She's one of the ones that came out to Chico with me when I headlined in Chico. She was on that show.
Were you there the first time like she did? I was there the first time she did stand up at. I was there first time she did stand up at.
Is that the night when everybody was like, "She's already funnier than Robbie"?
Yeah, dude, and Robbie got all fucking pissed off about it, dude. He was being a total dick about it. He is yeah, and you would think he'd just be a proud father and shit,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But he was like, it was like such a big blow to his ego that her first time she's already funnier than his fucking ass, dude.
Because people were saying that, and I was like, "Who?" And they were saying, I was like, "That's his daughter." I'm like, "Oh,
She totally
She
was,
looked
because
nothing like him."
he performed like right before, and I think he walked about down near half the place. And then she comes on and actually does good. He is just like so fucking pissed off about it. Low key, like I think he was hosting too, and so low key just kind of, he either went on after her or he was hosting. Maybe I think he went on after her, and then he was just like making excuses for why she's it did so well, or or something, or maybe he went on before and then was
Yeah,
like,
she was so good because he was a shitty father.
yeah. It just be like, oh, it's easy when people talk leave, and just instead of just kind of cheering her on, which is I don't
It was
know.
the library, right? Was
Yeah,
that the first one?
no, it was at the office.
Oh no, I wasn't there for
So,
that. But
yeah.
but people were telling me about it. Yeah, I wasn't there for that. It was
Yeah, it was at the
the
office,
first time I saw her was at the library.
and what I wish I could remember some of the shit she was talking about. I mean, she's just really funny. I think she had a bunch of kids. She's talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she worked at Wild Orchid,
Hmm.
and so she talked about that quite a bit. And she had some great stories.
Yeah, she did, dude. She's a funny chick.
Yeah.
I was like, Julia, she's cool. Um, what? Oh, we were gonna talk about. Tell me your story again about so Jeff, again, he's a mailman, and we were talking about how you had to deliver an AC because you're delivering for Amazon now. You had to deliver.
Well, the USPS has a contract with Amazon, so we deliver their packages too now. And we've started having to deliver bigger and bigger stuff. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I had to deliver throughout the day. I had to deliver 3 different ACU units, and they are AC units, and they're heavy as fuck. And we didn't used to do their heavy stuff. We just did their regular packages and stuff.
Do you get like a dolly or anything?
No, well, you
You
can't.
just fucking throw that.
Yeah,
shit
I
on
was
your
just
shoulder?
I would just walk the
Bro,
two
fuck
that
off,
I just
dude.
walked them up to the door on the ground. But yeah, no, the first one. I mean, it took up the whole fucking back of the truck I was in, the Metris. And I had it right by the side door because it was my very first stop of the day, which was a ways away from.
Yeah.
I was several miles from the office. Is where my route started on that day, and I pulled right up into the gravel driveway, jumped out, opened the sliding door. I was like, okay, I got as close as I could so I could just walk it up to the door. So I opened the sliding door. The lady comes out the front door and she goes, "Is that a big one for us?" I said, "Yeah, and it's heavy too." And she goes, "Yeah, we want to refuse that." I just stopped and looked at her, and she goes, "We called them and told them we ordered the wrong one and we didn't want it, but they said it was already sent, so we want to refuse it." So then I had to ride around the rest of the fucking day with this goddamn thing in my truck and work around it.
Yeah.
But she's like, "Sorry for the inconvenience," and I just looked at her and go, "Hey, at least you told me before I got it out of the truck, so I didn't have to get it back in the truck. So thanks for that." Jumped in the jumped in the van.
Do you usually go up and ask them now, or just
No.
be like, "Yo, are you receiving this?"
Because if it doesn't require a signature, I don't even knock on the door. I don't tell them their package is there. You just drop it on their doorstep. You push your scanner right where you drop it, so that the GPS marks where it was dropped off. That way, if it was if you dropped one off at the wrong address, it'll say, "Oh, you dropped it off here," so you know where it was. So you have to actually scan it right where you're setting it. But yeah, it's usually just at the door. I don't knock. The only time I ever talk to anybody is if they're expecting a package and they're looking for me and they come out and and they usually I like those ones because they'll come up to the truck. They'll come up to the truck to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to get out. I don't have to do the seatbelt. I don't have to do my 5-point check of a chalk in the wheels and.
Yeah, I'll go out and grab something small. If it's big, those motherfuckers can drop it off, dude. Fuck, dude. That's got to be a bitch to have to deliver some of that shit. What's the biggest thing you've had to deliver?
That was that. Well, there was like 3 of those. There was 3 of them that that day I had 3 for some reason. I haven't had anything. It was right when we were starting to get hot. But I've had some bigger stuff. I've had some big heavy stuff. I had a fully put together Rubbermaid work shed cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they come to where you have to put them together, and they're kind of heavy but they're in a flat box so you can just drag up. This one was already put together. I had to deliver one of those. It's like, what the fuck, man? We're not a moving company. And we're not to accept tips, so what the fuck is it worth it for me to do that?
You need to clip that shit and record it for a joke, dude. What the fuck, man?
You don't know how tempted I am to scan it and just when I get it out to the truck, just scan it and just push no access. Then they have to come down and pick it up at the post office.
My first job I ever had, I worked for a month. Do you remember Mailboxes, etc.?
Yeah.
I worked in the back at a Mailboxes, etc. for a month. It was my first job. And I remember my boss was this dude named Dave, and he was just fat as fuck. And he was like, okay, he was just kind of a fat old gray man who was just a little grumpy and shit, but he's an alright dude. You know what I mean? Kind of a dickhead, but whatever. I don't think he's bad guy, just a dickhead. And then he had this daughter who just thought she was hot as fuck. I think she was like 18 and I was 15 and a half, 16. And she was like, you know, she was skinny, you know, but she was just not. I mean,
She was
had
mad
like
skinny.
yeah, well, and she just had like
A kid.
a reverse ass, dude, where it would just like no ass at all, with her hips kind of forward and bad posture, and just like, um, you know, not to be body shaming or nothing, because her face wasn't nothing. Her face wasn't nothing to look at either.
You said she's 15 or 16. She probably hasn't had her hips.
She was
popped
like
yet.
18, dude. I was like 16.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
You know, no, she was like the boss daughter, so she was like the manager of the place. I had no idea what the fuck she was doing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was taking money out of the register for for drugs or booze or something. And yeah, dude, that shit fucking sucked. I'd have to sort through all their bullshit junk mail and stuff and put it in their boxes, and you know.
Well, I can tell you, as a postal worker, as a mailman,
Mm-hmm.
if I do a route that day for that has one of those on it,
Mhm.
because we have to deliver to those and stuff. Those are my favorite.
The
Like the USPS stores, the
Oh.
mailbox, etc. The little mail inks and all.
I
those.
bet.
Because it looks like you have a huge fucking route, and then you
Yeah.
get there and like
Just dropping a bunch
yeah,
of shit off.
you just drop off totes of the fucking mail. They do all the sorting, and you just pick up whatever they already have set up for you. You just pull that, and a third of your route is done.
That's awesome.
I love those
So
places.
you luck out when you get one of those.
Yeah, usually you're like, oh fuck, I have to go to the UPS store, and then you're like, oh wait, I get to just drop everything off, and they're gonna have everything ready for me that I need to pick up. I'm done with that for the day.
Yeah, that sounds way better, dude. I remember when like the mailbox. I remember, shit. What people would get all those. Remember the CD things?
Yeah.
Where you'd get like 20 CDs.
Yeah, Columbia House.
Columbia House, $2. People get all those.
I probably still owe them, but they're bankrupt, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, same, dude. I think I probably had I got like 30 CDs and DVDs and shit like that from one of those things. And
I got boxes in my closet and my storage closet at home that I just can't bring myself to throw away, because between Glenda and I, we have probably like 5,000 CDs and probably 2,000 DVDs.
Really?
I'm never going to own a DVD player again.
Yeah.
You know, but I still have boxes of them because I just can't, because I have like fucking like the original Reservoir Dogs on DVD, you know, and stuff.
Yeah, I have a bunch of great, or I had them. What fuck did I do with them? I think I might have just given all my old DVDs to Goodwill at a certain point, just because I didn't want the stuff around. But yeah, you're never gonna use one of them fucking things again. Huh? It's kind of we'd be kind of fucked if we weren't able to stream shit.
I did put a DVD in my PlayStation 5 recently, just because when I was reorganizing stuff and I was looking through a box and there was one single DVD in there. It was in the booklet and all that and everything, and I was like, oh fuck, I want to watch the DVD version of this, and so I put it in.
Think about that shit, dude. If there's like an EMP or something like that, and it took out a bunch of shit, or even just like if the internet just something happened, I don't even think that's possible, but if it did, and the internet was just gone, you'd be one of the most popular motherfuckers around, having 5,000 CDs and a bunch of you know, that'd be your ticket, right?
I just wish I still had my VHS tapes. I used to have fucking tons and tons. A lot of them were recorded off of TV, like off of HBO and stuff, but I also still had a lot of the like in the sleeve original
oh yeah,
VHSs.
dude. I remember I had Young Guns 2 recorded on on a VHS. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Young Guns, both of them, the original and the second one.
I heard they're remaking it.
They're remaking Young Guns?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Emilio Estevez, I thought was incredible as a kid, dude.
Yeah, he was.
It's hard to ever beat that, I think.
And Lou Diamond Phillips, what was his name?
Jose Chavez, dude. Yeah.
He was fucking amazing.
Yeah, the fucking knives he throw at motherfuckers and shit. Yeah, man. He was hella cool. Charlie Sheen was in that shit.
Yeah, everybody was good in that movie.
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland was great in it, dude. And they were G's.
Yeah.
It's some of the dot pals, dude. That's such a killer movie. Have you never seen fucking Young Guns before, dude? And I don't know.
But yeah, I heard they're remaking it.
I don't know. Like it would. I don't know how I feel about it. It'd be cool. It's cool. You know, it's such a great movie and stuff. I hope they do it justice and do a good job.
Well, that's like they were, but who knows what if it'll happen on, because they were talking about remaking the Goonies, and now they're just making a like 30 year, 40 year later sequel to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
why?
Where they're the parents slash grandparents and it's their kids now. Yeah, because everybody from that era loves the Goonies, because the Goonies was great from when you were a teenager and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think if you were gonna redo the Goonies or something, I think it would be cool to just have it be like a different pirate than some other kids on a different treasure hunt, and just do it different. Don't just try to remake
The
the.
sloth is just autistic.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. You know, you could well, you could still, you know, you could keep the freaks the same, I think, dude. You know. But the rest of them, it'd be cool if you made it like a blue-haired chick, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
there's definitely going to be that in there. There's
Yeah.
going to be some nose piercings and
Yeah.
and stuff, because it's going to be current time.
But it'd be cool if it was just like a different pirate story in there and kind of on a different pirate hunt.
Yeah, that's
I mean, everybody
well,
likes.
that's kind of what they're doing now, because like I
Is
said, they're, instead of doing
It's going to be the original people with their kids.
Well, some of them,
Okay.
a couple of them aren't around anymore. A couple of them don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
A couple of them aren't actors. Like the guy that played Chunk.
Yeah.
You know what he is now, right?
No.
He's an entertainment lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's not big. He's
Yeah.
skinny and small, and stuff.
Interesting.
Richard Donner, the director of it, because it was Steven Spielberg. Remember, Donner
Yeah.
directed it. Donner paid for his college and everything, because the acting dried up after the Goonies for him.
Oh,
And stuff. And
That's cool.
he was a good kid, and stuff. And so Richard Donner paid for his college.
oh wow.
He went to college. He went to Stanford, I think, and got a law degree and became an entertainment lawyer. So that's what he is.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, probably had a lot of connections in the industry too.
Well, yeah.
And then,
Took
yeah.
advantage of it. And,
Yeah.
made a life from it.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. You seem to know a lot about Goonies history, dude.
Oh, I love the Goonies.
Yeah, the Goonies is great.
One of our first weekend getaways together, Glenn and I, we went down to Astoria, Oregon.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and we went and did the Goonies tour. Well, technically not a tour. You'd go to this diner, the diner where they filmed a scene,
Uh-huh.
and the back of the menu was a paper menu,
Mhm.
was a map of all the sites to see on the Goonies tour. And so we just went and did it ourselves. The
Was-
people that owned the Goonies house at the time,
Yeah.
they hated it. All the neighbors hated it.
That's
We were walking. You couldn't drive up to it. You had to park at the bottom and walk up. And we're walking up. And so we walk up and we look at it. Take a couple pictures. Walking down, there's some old grumpy guy sitting on his porch in a rocking chair, drinking an iced tea. And goes, "Was it worth it?" Back by.
That's hella funny, dude. Was it worth it? That's hella funny. Was it?
It was cool. Yeah,
I mean-
it was like, that's the fucking you can
I
tell.
don't know, dude. It seems like it'd be cool to me. You
Yeah,
know?
it was. It was. I mean, for me, it was worth it. I mean,
Dude, honestly, nice little like weekend getaway. Have a couple drinks.
yeah, and
Get
plus Astoria,
go see some cool shit.
Astoria, Oregon. Astoria has some great fucking breweries. We
Yeah.
went to all of them.
I'd do that show with my buddies, dude. Hey, bro, let's go on the fucking Goonies tour, get hammered. Dude.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that guy, dude.
No, it's funny though.
I know it is.
Walking,
Story wouldn't be
there's
the same without it, dude.
because we're walking, because there's people. I mean, it's not just us. There's other people that are doing it too, because it was on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I guess it was pretty popular to do on the weekend. But yeah, we're walking back down, and he's just sitting on a rocking chair on his fucking on his wooden porch, and it's like a big old cup of iced tea. He's drinking. And he's like, "Was it worth it?" As you walk by. Back
To be
there.
honest with you, it's such a relatable thing because I feel like if I lived in that town and I was sitting there watching all these dipshits fucking come by to see the place that Goonies was filmed, I'd be like, "These fucking morons, dude." That guy, I probably do the same shit. That's hilarious, dude. Was it worth it? The fact that he said that, he's probably just sitting there being like dying, dude, just thinking everybody's dumb as fuck. There's nothing, nothing I love better than a fucking. Shouldn't say nothing I love better, but few things I love better than an old man just laughing at people for being stupid.
I'm getting to that fucking
Yeah.
age, dude.
You just watch people do stupid shit.
Yeah.
I fucking dude. So Wednesday night at the mic, Chris Brojas, um, he had his. I was fucking with him so bad. He had his dog there, and it got a hold of like a chew toy, and it was making all this noise. And Vicky was on stage, and I was like, looking at him like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, should I take her inside?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And he's like giggling and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, take her in, man." I'm like, "Let Vicky do her thing. You have a dog chewing a fucking chew toy in the middle. There's a bunch of people here watching the show." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he takes her inside. I almost tripped on over the dog coming through the door, dude. And so I see him there. He's like laughing. I'm like, "What's funny, man?" And he's like, you almost tripped. And I was like, "Oh, that's funny to you." And yeah, dude, so bad. So I'm like, "Oh, that's funny to you." I was like, just like it's funny out there that your dog's laughing and interrupting shit, but you get all pissed off when other people talk during your set. And it was like, "Is that funny?" I was like, I go, "Dude, you're selfish." Oh, I was being dead ass here. And like, just, I mean, I was doing so good. I was like, "You're selfish, dude." I was like, "Fuck your friends, right? Fuck if they took time out of their day. Fuck the business that lets them do this. Where all these people here, ruin the show because you think it's funny to have your dog chew on the chew toy when all these other people, are affected by it." I was like, "You're just a piece of shit, dude." Yeah, dude, I was like, "You're just a piece of shit." And he's getting, he goes over and he starts pouting.
I can see him probably being intimidated.
I was like, I let him go for a minute. I came back. I'm like, "I'm just fucking with you, dude." Like, I was like, "Stop crying, dude." I'm like,
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, bro. Totally. Rub some fucking dirt on it, buddy. Motherfucker looks like he's rolling around in the dirt, dude. Of all the people that need to rub dirt on something, it's Rojas, dude, who I love and I adore, and I'm annoyed by, but he's not a piece of shit. He's a lovely person.
Yeah, because he's super timid and nice.
Oh, he's a sweet guy, yeah, dude. And then I felt bad afterwards. I was eating some mushrooms. I'm like, I shouldn't have been fucking with him so bad, dude. He's probably sitting there. He's like, I was when I told him he was selfish. I was like, "You're not a piece of shit, dude." When I was like, "You are selfish," but he's like, "Well, isn't everybody?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a fucking problem, dude." And I was like, he's like, "Well, it's not a problem for you, is it?" And I was like, "What do you think?" Yeah, dude, it was pretty fucking awesome. It was pretty fucking awesome, bro. I should probably call him that. Make sure he just didn't take that shit too serious.
Make sure he keeps showing up.
I was totally fucking with him, dude. I was just like,
but it's Rojas, and
I know.
and
yeah, I love him.
Half time he doesn't know when it's a joke.
No, he does, dude. That's why I was fucking with him, because he's so good at I fuck with him all the time, and he's as good at like taking it as anybody. And he motherfucker dishes it out too. He's always up there complaining about somebody, dude.
Yeah. He will get up there and complain about something when he's going to end up being the one that looks like an ass the next time when that person gets on stage.
Yeah.
Like the Thanksgiving thing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you can't get up there and bitch about that.
Did we ever tell that story on the podcast?
I don't know.
We'll save it for later, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here this whole time and be talking, making fun of him and stuff, because I love him. So, I would turn it into an hour long.
I will say I did want to talk about. I watched a 6-part series in 2 days.
You say that.
That's a lot of TV for me.
And you're saying with a lot of pride. So tell me.
It was on A&E. It was like the secrets of, or the dark side of, the Bunny Ranch.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I could see how you get sucked into that.
Well, I mean, and Glenna, because Glenna told me about it, and I was like, oh shit. She goes, but here people are like making comments like, what's it matter? It's on A&E. They're gonna blur out all the nudity. It wasn't about the nudity. It literally should have just been called Dennis Hof is a piece of shit. That's 6 episodes on him being a piece of shit.
Oh wow.
And,
I mean, I don't think were people thinking he was like a good guy.
well, no, but I had the perception that like on the Cathouse show that was on HBO, because Glenn and I watched that. We watched all of it because we were started dating while it was on, and we got married during that time. But that was something we watched, and I had the perception of this is a a legal version of prostitution. The women that are there want to be there. It's a safe way for them to do this job and make some good money doing this. And I was duped. I was naive or duped or whatever you want to look at it. That was not what was going on there.
Or do you mean he was like forcing them to do it?
He would not let them leave. He raped all of them.
Wow. Yeah.
His thing was those were his vaginas. He could fuck whichever ones he wanted.
Well,
he wanted.
That's kind of a classic pimp thing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Right?
That people like some media would call him a pimp, and they refuted. No, this and all that. But
I mean, you own brothels. Like it's just more legal.
But yeah, it was really interesting. But yeah, it was definitely should have been called a piece of shit.
To get people to do that, you have to get people to do that. You have to essentially like hold a certain sort of power over them, and usually a lot of the games that people play to have that kind of power are really fucked up.
Yeah, like holding them down by their neck on the bed.
Yeah, and they're part of power. That kind of power is people fearing you. So it's not super.
And then they have the Cathouse, the TV show The Cathouse, where he's trying to make it look like it's a party scene. And apparently, according to a bunch of the girls, Air Force Amy was one of the main stars of it and stuff. And she's on there quite a bit. She doesn't say anything bad about him, but some of the other ones they're recognizable do. And they talk about like those parties and stuff they showed. Those did not happen when the cameras weren't there. There was no parties like that. It was only for the HBO cameras. And HBO had this thing where they only wanted to show positive stuff. They didn't actually want to be like a documentary. They wanted to be like an advertisement for it was like an advertisement because he's not legally allowed to advertise it, and so it became like an advertisement.
So was he just essentially like doing it for letting them film there as advertisement?
Yes, that's 100% what he was doing.
I mean, it's a smart business move.
Yeah, it was all about It was all about advertising and then like when something bad would happen or whatever, he would get out. He would try to get out in front of it. Like one of the girls was got pregnant or whatever, and so she went home to Oklahoma to deal with that and and everything. And
she get pregnant from like a personal thing or work thing?
Well, they only say one thing about it, but that's what I was getting to. So she got killed when she was back in Oklahoma.
Was it him?
No.
Oh.
The thing was that she got killed. She was with these guys and these girls that she knew when she was a stripper down there before she came up to the Bunny Ranch. And one of the guys was a drug dealer, and his bodyguard turned on him and killed everybody because he joined another gang or whatever. This is another story. But anyway, as soon as she was killed, Dennis Hof was on all the TV stations talking about how she had just informed him last week that she was pregnant with his baby. And so it
wasn't his baby?
It was not his baby. It was to keep the Bunny Ranch's name in the media.
Wow.
And he's the one that coined the phrase the Bunny Ranch murders, even though they happened in Oklahoma.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, he is a giant piece of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Did I ever tell you how
when Lamar Odom had the overdose at his one down in Vegas?
Yeah, what was the story with that?
Yeah, well, apparently, Lamar Odom went there. It was right when he went there, like
Didn't he just like split up with what's her name?
Yeah, he just signed the divorce papers and wanted a couple of days of like, and so he went there and he
ugly hookers at the Cathouse.
Yeah, well, apparently he went there because of a trans hooker. A trans one that was there. It was the first trans.
Oh, he's trying to fuck it.
Well, no, he went there because of her, but he didn't pick her out of the lineup.
Oh. They just wanted to
He
see
picked
it?
two other ones. He picked two other ones,
Oh.
and spent $75,000 just to spend the weekend or like 3 or 4 days with him.
Was he just like seeing if he was going to accidentally pick the
No.
Is it like,
No, he was just looking.
like, surprise me.
He was looking for a way to get out of the spotlight for a few days.
Okay. Well, why did it have
But
to do with
he wanted to
drugs?
just do a ton of drugs. So and Dennis Hoff's like, get him whatever he wants. Get him whatever he wants, and give him everything he wants. So one of the girls that he had picked was.
Did he
going
get
to
like some fucked up shit?
No, he just did a lot of it. There's a line in there where one of the girls that he had chose, she's on it and she's talking about. She's like, I'm gonna tell my story for the first time. I've never told my story to anybody. I didn't tell the police. This is what happened. And she was talking about at one point that the other girl went and got cocaine for him, and she didn't know about it. And she walked into the bathroom when the other two were in the bathroom because they were all staying in this one room together for the time he was there because he was paying $75,000 for them.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like 6 lines of cocaine on there. She's like, "Oh, so we are gonna party, you know?" And this is the girl saying it. I said, "You know, oh, so we are gonna party, you know? Oh, here, I'll take a line." And she said, before I could even do anything, he just turned and snorted all 6 lines because he didn't want to share.
Wow, dude.
You know,
Was he?
but the reason why he got
Was he retired from the NBA yet?
No, he was.
I thought he
not.
was still playing, right?
He was.
With the Lakers.
Yeah, he did not after that because he had several strokes and stuff while he was in the coma.
No
from
way.
Because he was so out of it, he was just doing anything and everything he could. And the other girl that he had picked was on methadone because she was a meth addict.
Yeah.
And so he somehow got a hold. She didn't give it to him, but somehow got a hold of her methadone and it took all of her methadone. It was like little like vials of a
Holy
liquid.
shit, dude.
Yeah, and so yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, it's a really good 6-part.
I mean, it sounds like it's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I like I said, I had the perception I was naive or ignorant or whatever you want to call it. I would have I believed the persona that because at the time HBO was trustworthy with what they were putting. They were putting out like pimps and hoes.
Were those chicks talking about how much money they were making?
Yes, they did. Yeah,
How much were they making?
well, whatever they made, like sometimes it was $1,500 or whatever, but they had to split 50-50. And then after when they got their 50%, they had to pay for room and board. They had to pay for the stylist that they didn't choose to come and do their hair and makeup. They had to pay for their sex toys and the lube. They had to pay for condoms. And so by the time they were done from a like if they made like
Jesus
$700,
Christ, dude.
if they made $700 off of a trick, a visit, they were minus $200 by the time the fees were. So they were in debt. They were gaining debt.
That's wild. Dude.
Yeah, it's not as glamorous as they made it seem in the Cathouse, and it's legal. So those girls are making big money or whatever.
Yeah,
They were in debt.
I never would have thought of it as glamorous.
Well, I don't
no matter
think
what.
glamorous is the wrong word, but
Yeah,
you know, upper echelon or whatever, and
yeah, better than it. I guess not working on the street, but
he had deals with like Vegas pimps and stuff. And then when he would find out who their girls are, he'd say, "Oh, I want that one, bring her up." And then that pimp got her cut, and then Dennis got his cut. And so she was like, one of the girls says, "I was having sex with people for free there."
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. Why would you? I guess just again power, fear, and shit like that. You know. I used to at the gym that I worked at years ago in Carson. The chicks from the brothels would they had memberships and
he owned all of them too. That was the thing.
Yeah.
He bought them all.
So so they would come in and they were usually not very attractive. I'm gonna tell you that, dude. But they would fucking moan like they're fucking when they were working out, dude. And I think it was a joke to them. They got a kick out of it, but they would do these sexual moans and shit while they were doing squats and stuff. Just that type of bullshit, dude.
Yeah,
that would make people so uncomfortable.
When they were like showing footage and stuff. They were showing like footage that wasn't on the Cathouse, and they were showing footage, and you're like, well, I don't remember seeing her. But then you find out that they HBO and Dennis handpicked who was going to be shown on Cathouse, so that you didn't see the other ones.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's fucked up when people get into that kind of life.
Yeah.
You know? What's crazy to me is dudes will, I don't know, I could never see myself marrying a chick like that, dude. And they get married and stuff. Like,
Yeah, one of them, she got out. She married a guy she met from there.
Yeah.
He's the one that helped her escape because they couldn't, because the gate isn't just to let you in, it lets you out too. You have to get buzzed out too, and they wouldn't let the girls out unless they were approved.
Do you think those dudes just have some sort of fetish with their chick being with a
Yeah,
lot of
the
dudes or
Captain
something?
Save-A-Ho thing.
Is it that, or is it just also that they have a fetish of that chick being ran through so much?
I don't know about that. I think it's more of a Captain Save-A-Ho thing, as what I would
Yeah,
think.
savior complex, that type
Yeah.
of deal. Yeah, talk about a real I guess, that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
But I highly recommend the series. I thought I learned a lot.
Yeah, I might check it out.
And again, like I said, again, obviously it's blurred because it's
It was on A&E.
Yeah.
Did you like on?
I have
on
Hulu
Hulu?
Live. I have
Okay.
Hulu Live for TV.
Dude,
so
is it though? Can
yeah,
you
just go to the A&E hub, and it's right there. It's right there on it.
I have all them fucking streaming services,
Yeah,
dude.
me too.
And I never really watched TV, which is crazy, dude.
But it's yeah, it's not. There's nothing sexual. It's like, oh, that's so hot. It was nothing sexual about it. It was actually really disturbing.
Yeah.
Really informative, and it was like, holy shit, that's not how I pictured it in my head when I was watching this back when.
Have you ever been to them?
No.
I went when I used to ride my motorcycle and stuff. I went with a bunch of the bikers on one of the poker runs and stuff, and that was the first time I'd been in. I had a buddy who was this killer singer, named Dave. He lived out in like Topaz, and this dude he killed it. He had this band called Riff Raff, and he could sing. I'm telling you, just like Dio. It was probably his favorite. I mean, he could hit them real high notes. He looked just like Lieutenant Dan, Gary Sinise. He looked just like him, bro. It was crazy. He kind of had like
Who can also
long dark hair. It was like thinning up here. Gary Sinise's face, and just this dude could hit any note. I remember at the high school.
So he looks like Dio too.
Yeah, dude, and yeah, he did. And so, yeah, I remember on there, they were played Hard to Handle from like the Black Crowes and shit on one of their demos and stuff. And he just, he nailed it, dude. And then he had a couple cool recordings of him doing Zeppelin and shit. And anyways, fuck were we just he played at those things, and he was like, they got the best fucking food you could imagine there, dude. And I was like, I don't know, man, because he wanted me to come watch him, and I'm like, I have just a hard time believing that. But maybe it's true. I don't
Well, they say that the sushi's like a big thing in Reno, and there's a lot of good sushi restaurants apparently.
Yeah.
But apparently the best sushi in Reno is at the men's club.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah. And we had a friend in town that was here doing some shows. And after his shows, we went there, and that's what they had was sushi, and they thought it was fucking great. And they're from LA.
Yeah, I've to be honest with you, I've heard that several times. And
I heard it when I lived in Seattle. Yeah. The radio station guys up there, they would make fun of Reno all the time, and Nevada. Yeah. That's how they would say it, and because one time the guy said Nevada, and somebody fucking ripped him. And so now they always drag out the A, Nevada. That's why I did it on my character on that show. I did, but that's what they always talked about is how can you trust a town where the best sushi there is at the strip club?
Yeah. Well, I get how that's, and it's especially weird just because it's the last type of thing you want that place to smell like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like of all things, which is a real obvious sort of thing that it would be like, well, we would know. So it'd probably be a hard deal to have that good of sushi and also just keep it smelling good up in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but as far as the brothels, the Mustang Ranch, the one out past Sparks there in Mustang, they do comedy shows every once in a while.
Do they?
Yeah, oh wait, yeah, Dave Macarelli and Brian Lee.
That's right.
We're doing shows out there.
Yeah.
But that chick that worked there would come into town to go to comedy shows. You remember her? She came around a few times to do comedy shows. She always pulled her tits out in the crowd.
I don't know if I was ever there for those.
When Big Tommy was here, it's a live hearing. And then the next time he was here, she was there, and she did it again.
Yeah, dude. Whatever happened to her?
Yeah, but she seemed like she was having a good time and had fun. Because she always every time. probably saw her like 4 or 5 times in the crowd. Every single time she pulled her tits out at some point or another.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, dude? If you're having a good time, that's all we care about, you know?
Tits will make a comedy show better, I promise you.
Yeah, it'd be
No matter how good it's going.
It would be great if that shit happened more often, you know what I mean? God. We nobody ever shows us their tits in the middle of a comedy show, dude. That's kind of a
Yeah, last time I saw tits at the comedy show was my wife was waxing mine.
That's true, dude. That's probably same, I think, you know. Same was last tits I seen in the comedy show were yours for sure. Which shame on you girls, honestly, dude. God. You know, bunch of prudes, no fun. Unappreciative, that's what it not great, ungrateful. That's what
Yeah.
How dare they? Yeah, dude, that's I've never eaten there. Anyway, so we went to that, and they have them all like line up in front of you. You know, we were down there. Yeah.
They call it the lineup.
Yeah, it's weird.
You have to say their name.
I was there for about 10 minutes and stuff. Had a whiskey, and then that was like my one drink of the day because we were going through Geiger grade on the way home.
They kill the herpes.
No, I wasn't trying to. I'd never sleep with a hooker, dude. I'd rather. I mean, she'd have to be crazy hot, dude. You know.
And willing to not be a hooker anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're, I mean, I would never marry one, or date one. Like I'm saying, I would probably never hook up, like fuck a hooker. She'd have to be pretty convincing that, you know, she kept everything. You know. And I'm not gonna try to fucking investigate it just to see if she's telling the truth or not, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So where fuck are we going with that? With that shit? That's how I feel about being a hooker personally and dating one. So, not for me. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. I don't give a fuck about saving nobody.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna try to save them, but I'm also not gonna like bash them for doing it. I
don't have no wrong with it either, dude. There's plenty of.
I don't know their situation.
There's plenty of dudes that want to fuck hookers and stuff. More power to them, dude. I'm not trying to shame nobody for shit. And if they enjoy it, like I remember my buddy, he was roommates with a chick that worked at one of those. She made a really good living, so I don't think she was at. Were they allowed to work there and not live there?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they had to stay there while they were working.
Okay, while they were working, but
Yeah.
because she lived with him and she worked there, so at any rate, she said that she really liked sex and it was an easy way to make money, and she got to choose if she wanted to hook up with someone or not.
That's what they said on there too.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you get to choose, but then it turns out where sometimes you're fucking a politician because Dennis Hof told you to fuck a politician. And
Yeah.
you don't get paid for it.
Yeah, I could see that.
You're fucking the sheriff tonight, and he's not paying you.
Yeah, you get to choose sometimes. And I could see that being a.
If you get picked, you can choose. If you get picked and you choose no, well, guess what? You're doing it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on how much money they had and influence and shit they had.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just some trucker in town, dude, who had a visa, you know, pissed off his wife for fucking buying, you know, something she didn't need. I could see that, where they'd be allowed to be like, nah, you know. But if it's Lamar Odom or some shit, you know.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing. Is I guess they actually were like, we're on our way to go pick him up right now because he was calling for the car to come get him.
Huh.
We're on our way to go pick him up right now. Everybody, put on your best outfit and be ready. Lamar Odom is coming.
I mean, I feel like put on your best outfit kind of goes without saying when Lamar Odom's coming.
Well, I would say put on your best.
I put on my best outfit if Lamar Odom. No, I'm just kidding.
I would say put on your best outfit for everybody if you want to make money.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
You know,
Look professional.
You don't know who's coming in, and
Yeah.
you don't know who that guy is. You don't know if he's a multi-billionaire, you know, or if he's just some guy that saved up $12,000 so he can go have a fun weekend. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I try to go everywhere dressed decent, you know, not looking like a fucking slob. You know what I mean? So I think that should it's a general good rule for when you're out in public and stuff,
Yeah.
and you can, especially, you never know what kind of opportunities could be around the corner, and you're going to get judged about your appearance regardless, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And some people don't even mean to, but they just
Yeah,
subconscious.
we talked about that before about
Yeah.
with comedy shows where I'll wear either I'll wear some decent jeans and a nice shirt, or I'll wear slacks and a dress shirt.
Yeah.
Because that's just, I mean, you're representing yourself.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
know. I'm not going to show up in jeans and a t-shirt at a comedy show. Where a lot of the comics will.
Unless it's like, unless it's part of a character or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
I think, just how you dress should fit kind of who you are, I guess. And maybe your comedy a little bit. But you could still do that dressing up, not looking like a bum. Sometimes have you ever watched someone where like just their comedy's so incongruent with like how they show up, like how
How they,
shit.
like,
And it's weird,
This don't look like that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Something feels off about it. Just doesn't feel authentic. So
You get that a lot with
like,
people talking down about their life, and stuff where they look like, you don't.
They look like they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're like, no.
Mhm.
And well, for us comics, and we know the other comics, I'm like, dude, I know what you do for a living. I know you have money, and you're up there talking like this. That's not relatable, man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like I always look well put together, I feel like, but I don't dress super, super nice. But I generally dress business casual for work, and I might be slightly more casual than that at a show. But yeah.
I dress business casual for a show, and then I'm at home I'm gonna wear a t-shirt and shorts, or whatever. But for a show where people are, especially ones where people are buying tickets and paying for money for tickets, I'm gonna dress a little bit nicer.
It's weird to see a comedian in shorts on stage, dude.
Yeah, you should never.
Yeah.
Shorts or flip flops.
Oh, dude. And I see these guys come on, wearing shorts. Like, I don't really give a fuck what kind of, there's certain choices you're not going to make. Like, certain people can get away with wearing a tank top, and it's not a problem, dude. But I wouldn't wear a tank top on stage, dude.
You shouldn't, unless it's part of their act.
I mean, I just think that there's certain people where it fits who they are as their personality. Like, and it's not like intimidating and shit either, where like when it's not to talk shit, but when Moma wears a tank top, dude, it's not intimidating to me.
Funny.
Yeah, and it doesn't fuck up just because he's pretty authentic as a dude on stage, you know what I mean? Like all of his jokes kind of, they make sense with who he is, and if you know him, how he sees things, and he's a funny dude. And so, in him wearing a tank top, it doesn't like change any of that or really influence what you think about his jokes or really make you take them any differently, dude. Like me wearing a tank top, people are gonna I'm gonna seem like even more of an asshole than I already.
Oh, he's showing off.
Yeah, dude, and so I can't afford to do that shit. Because I don't spend, my kind of self-deprecating isn't as relatable as some other people sometimes, I guess, and you gotta, I don't know, it's harder to buy as much goodwill to be able to say really fucked up shit, dude.
Yeah.
If you're wearing a wife beater and tattoos and shit, So, certain things you can't. I've accidentally left my hat forward a couple times, which is a mistake.
I do it all. Whenever I wear a hat, I do, but I try not to do it on like paid shows. I'll do it at like the Mike's or the Ladies' Night or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's if it's a ticketed show, I won't wear a hat on stage.
Yeah, at our shows, I usually wear a hat or I don't know. Yeah, I usually do, but I try to turn it around so people can see my face when I'm talking and it's not blocking out. Because sometimes I make some dumbass facial expressions and shit, and so that people tend to find funny. So I think that kind of adds to the show. Usually, if people can see how you really feel out of your face,
yeah, they can only see your expressions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you better be a real good fucking writer, huh? Yeah. What else were we? How long have we been going? You think?
I don't know. Look, what's the audio at?
I was going to totally start a timer and then.
Yeah, we did.
I'm high as shit, so my sense of time is not
We did write down some topics, but then we ended up getting off topic, which we said we were going to do.
Yeah. We were going to talk about favorite conspiracy theories. You said,
oh, yeah.
Conspiracy. I don't see a fucking timer on here.
It's not up in the top up there?
It's not a timer.
Oh.
It's like,
I don't know. I have no idea.
I bet if I look on view. Keep talking, Jeff. So
all right. Well,
tell me about your conspiracy theory.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna make it quick because I have to piss bad.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 8:30, so we have to have been going for about an hour, right? Did we start at 7:30?
Yeah. So you wanted to bring up our favorite conspiracy theories, and the one that I saw, I think it was yesterday, or the day before, and I was like, oh, that's a great conspiracy theory, where the files are starting, or the paperwork is starting to come out on why the Seattle Seahawks traded Russell Wilson.
Oh, really?
And it was during contract negotiations. And the conspiracy is that the NFL was trying to get all 32, or told all 32 teams, no more fully guaranteed money for veterans.
Okay.
And he was trying to get a fully guaranteed contract, and so they cut off negotiations because he said, well, I want a fully guaranteed contract. And I was like, well, we can't talk then.
Well, so like you mean the kind of collusion?
Yeah, it was collusion, which is a conspiracy because I don't think it's really that big of a surprise when everybody knows the NFL's been trying to cut back on guaranteed money for years.
I think they've already kind of been doing that for a while. And I think I think they're pretty much all in agreement about not giving that, except for the Browns when they did that shit with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and that was the problem. That's when they happened. That's when it happened, is when they did that.
Because everybody's like, yo, none of us could let that shit happen.
Yeah, that's when the NFL was like, hey, to all 30 teams, hey, we're not doing this anymore. Not fully guaranteed contracts for veterans.
And I mean, the Browns are going to do what they're going to do. They're just stupid. And I don't, as far as like ethically, I don't, where's the problem? I mean, I get
either make it a rule or don't.
I get, yeah. Well, I mean, when one team's not going to adhere to that, does that have to be like a unanimous thing for them to put that?
Well,
there's probably something in the
collective. There's a thing in the collective bargaining where they can't do that, and so that's the conspiracy, is that the NFL was like telling these teams, they don't tell the Players Association, but we're not going to fully guarantee veteran contracts anymore.
Yeah, I probably kind of depends on the player too.
So that's my favorite.
What makes Yeah, I could see it happening. I don't think it's that unrealistic of a conspiracy after like what happened with the Browns.
Well, I think it absolutely happened.
Yeah,
I am not a fan of Roger Goodell. I have made fun of Roger Goodell my whole life.
Yeah, Roger Goodell's a piece of shit. It's hilarious how he gets booed every year at the NFL draft and shit. I totally think they did that too. I mean, the Browns are terrible. They really fucked themselves in that. The owner's a moron. He's the only one who's dumb enough to do that. And I can totally see everybody going, look, just because this guy's fucking an idiot doesn't mean we're all going to start being idiots and do the same shit.
He got that full guarantee.
The same thing.
Like, well, I'm getting fully guaranteed. I'm next. I'm next up, so I'm getting fully guaranteed. And that's when it was hey, we're not fully guaranteeing veterans contracts.
And that sucks for these guys. When we're talking about fully guaranteed contracts, when these guys are getting paid 25 million, 30, 45, 50 million a year for guaranteed, I mean, I know it's usually not what they walk away with. That's like incentives, and if they played the whole time without it getting restructured. But at a certain point, like how much in guarantees do you need?
Well, here's where my
you don't want them to get fucked, but
here's where I stand on it. If the team is willing to offer that contract, and the player is obligated to live out that contract, the team should be obligated to live out that contract too.
Sure. Yeah.
But the teams don't have to. They can guarantee this amount, and then they can cut you after 3 years if you have a 5-year contract.
So that's, I mean, all that it is though is the contract is really just the guaranteed money at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, for the team, for the player, the contract is the contract. For the team, the contract is the guaranteed money because they can cut you, release you for whatever
right.
reason.
So when someone signs, but I mean, when
player
someone signs that contract, they still know they're signing. What they're really signing is the guaranteed money. It's not like it's a surprise. Like I think
unless you do well and the team wants you there for whatever your next 2 years are in the last 2 years of that contract,
yeah,
you don't have a choice. They do. They
I mean,
can cut you because they don't owe you any money, or any guaranteed money.
right.
But you are obligated to be there and live out that contract. I think that all contracts should be fully guaranteed or voided based off of,
Right. Well, when someone doesn't have guaranteed money left, and so when someone doesn't have guaranteed money left, right, and they still have those extra years, usually the player's going to hold out and they're going to end up getting their money, if they're good. If they're not good and the team still, they can cut them, in which case they can negotiate with another team. Or if they don't cut them and they keep them there, if they're not good enough for them to be re-signed or to make more somewhere else, which, I mean, they should kind of just take the fucking money that's coming to them if they don't cut them. But if they cut them, you still have the opportunity to sign somewhere else. You're almost free. Like, I think that they walk in knowing this is what the real contract is.
Well, yeah, we all do. We all, I mean, people that follow sports and know how it works, we all know that.
So that's what they're really agreeing to, though.
Well, my whole thing is but the thing is the team still have the upper hand because even if, like, well, that's why the Bears ended up trading Khalil Mack to the Chargers because his guaranteed money was up, but he still had 2 years two left on his contract, and he was like, "Well, I'm not playing for that. I want a new contract."
Right.
And they're like, "Okay, well, fine. We're just gonna fucking trade you then." Where on the opposite end, if it was something like Joe Blow and his guaranteed money was up, and he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna keep playing for my contract," and they're like, "No, you're not. We're gonna cut you because we don't owe you any more money on this contract."
Yeah.
And I think if the contract should be a contract, the way it is in the rest of every other aspect in life.
Yeah, when you sign for something, but it's not like that's not something that they're agreeing to when they sign it, though. You know what I mean? They're agreeing to know that this is what we'll get if we don't cut you, but they also know this is the guaranteed money. So it's not like a lot of them are on the assumption that they're going to play out that entire contract. They know they're either getting.
Well, I know that and I understand that, but I just think that why should they be allowed to offer this contract if they're not going to honor it?
Because the other people are agreeing to it, I guess. I mean, like they're still agreeing to the fact, like knowing that. So I mean, it seems like it's just kind of pointless the way it's set up.
It is. That's my whole point.
It's I don't know that it's. Yeah. Do you see all that shit with the Liver King fucking threatening dude? Did you see it? Like, I saw the original ones of him wanting to fight, but the other stuff, dude, like all these, he's posted like a shitload of videos.
No, but I watched that.
Crazier.
That that they have Netflix has their own version of 30 for 30, the Untold or whatever.
Yeah.
Sports documentaries. They did one on the Liver King recently.
Yeah, and I guess that was kind of what caused him to go nuts. But well, he's been going nuts for a while. But I mean, he has. Did you see the video? He's like wearing
organs from other animals will do.
He's like wearing this like pelt of some animal, like a bear or a wolf or something, and he's got like a solid gold AR-15, and he's like swaying to this music, and he's like talking to Joe Rogan and stuff. Just nonsense, dude. It's the most fucking ridiculous thing.
And he's so pissed because even in that thing they talk about how Joe Rogan was the one that called him out for taking steroids, and that's when he had to admit it.
I mean, I thought that they had was that the first time, because I thought that's what they'd already, because Rogan asked someone about it. I don't know. There was more plates, more dates, or something was who he was on the podcast with, and they were talking about.
I just on that thing they showed Joe.
But Rogan's so big, yeah.
Yeah, they were showing. Somebody said something about the Liver King. Goes, oh, that guy's juiced.
What did he? Yeah. Well, he's like, yeah, you don't get that jacked without doing. And he's right, dude. Like,
and he's like, that was just devastating to me, and all this. Yeah. He goes, that kind of put my life in a halt. I had to like reevaluate. And he goes, it was time to come clean.
Yeah.
Of course, I couldn't do this without.
Yeah, of course.
Help.
At the end of the day, I don't know why it was that big of a fucking secret. I guess because that's how he's getting his following, is by these extreme things when he's really, also taking steroids. So if some of these dumb motherfuckers, I'm sure, started doing the exact same
Well,
thing.
yeah, and his whole challenge to Joe Rogan, it's clearly to try to keep him in the news and bring him back up. Joe Rogan doesn't need that.
But then
that was for him.
they were showing some video today of this like box with this like powder with Rogan's logo that he had posted and this other shit. And I mean, some of the things he was saying were like extremely threatening, and
well, that's why he got arrested for the terroristic threats.
Yeah, which is I mean, fuck, dude. I think Rogan
showed up in Austin.
Yeah, I don't think Rogan knew about it, and then he found out from them, and it was like, it's concerning. But yeah, I saw like on X all these people being like, Rogan's being a pussy, dude. If this and it's like, what are you talking about, man? He don't even fucking know. And then this guy, and then the police tell him, and he's like, oh shit, I don't know that. That's scary.
I've never met him. But he seems completely unstable, and I've heard he has a severe drug problem. That's all he said.
Yeah. And what's wrong with that, dude? To be honest with you, he's the guy.
Tell him what you know.
Or what does he have to prove? He doesn't need to go fight anyone. And then,
besides the fact that Joe Rogan would just fucking murder him.
Yeah, he would absolutely destroy him. I guarantee you, Rogan is.
He even knew it. He even admitted it. He's like, I hope you choke me out.
Where is the benefit in that for Rogan? Like, as if Rogan has anything to prove, dude.
There's nothing in it for Rogan to do that.
Yeah, that's what's so insane about it. Like, what do you mean? Why wouldn't he fight him? Because he has, hundreds of millions of dollars, a podcast. He's enjoying himself, and there's no reason for him to fight him. Just because someone called you out, who gives a fuck, dude? Grow up. What are you, 22? Like, who cares? Oh, dude, don't be a pussy.
I don't think he's 22. I think he's grasping at straws. He's trying to stay relevant.
I mean, just the people that are like talking shit about him not fighting him and stuff. It's like, or like as if he called to have him arrested. Which honestly, if he had heard about it first and he did call to have him arrested, I don't have no problem with that. Motherfucker's got family and shit, dude. Who knows how the nuts this dude is? Yeah,
which is kind of a Wild West town where it's easy to get a fucking gun.
Yeah, people are insane, dude. And the guy's clearly not right.
Walking around with a fucking
AR-15, yeah. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Yeah, that video was crazy, dude. It was a really wild video. He had
to post a video challenging somebody while you're holding a gold-plated AR-15.
Yeah. I wonder what drugs that dude is doing, dude. Because it's not. Someone was saying mushrooms and other stuff, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like mushrooms. Normally, you're not trying to fight people on mushrooms.
Maybe acid, but even then, no.
Yeah, it seems like he's just on something else.
That's more of a PCP thing.
Yeah, or just meth. Or he may be doing meth with his steroids, when you're and you got to be. People are being like, see, people go crazy on steroids. No, they don't, dude. There's plenty of people on testosterone replacement and all kinds of shit. He's probably doing a lot of other fucking drug pills or something, or because that's the type of shit. There's just a lot of people that do large amount when people are doing large amounts of steroids like that, like shitloads of it, they tend to go to extremes in other areas. More is never enough. And the same with other drugs too. I don't want to call it a gateway thing, but when you do one drug, you're also more likely to do other drugs for sure. It doesn't matter which fucking one it is. Yeah. Same as alcohol. There's plenty of people that just drink, but a person who never drinks is less likely to be doing 10 other drugs too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead. So like it's like if you're doing coke all the time and shit, you're not usually like no alcohol, no weed, dude. Like, I will only do coke. Like they're all kind of
what else you got?
Yeah, exactly, dude. You get drunk enough, you'll do the same shit too sometimes, and I've never been high and been like, oh, let's do some coke or anything like that ever. I've never been like that on mushrooms either.
Yeah, the times I've done mushrooms, I've never been like,
yeah.
Oh, I want to try this next.
Yeah, let me go. Yeah, exactly. Let me do some heroin. No, you're just like, oh, life is, we're all connected. Yeah, feel so good right now. I'm happy. Yeah, dude, totally. Relax, see some things. you're not like, oh, I want to go do coke and fucking we could, talk about trying to get some pussy, just
Yeah.
I don't usually want to get up and do shit when I'm doing those things, dude. Sometimes I like to go for a walk when I'm on mushrooms. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know whether I need to sit down, or stand up when I'm on mushrooms, dude.
Yeah, for me, anytime I've done them, the times that I've stayed awake when I've done them,
Yeah.
because apparently I'm the only person that's ever fallen asleep.
I'm just like, usually on mushrooms, I'm up for hours, dude. At least a good 6 hours after doing them, I'm just kind of wired, and sometimes I don't
I'll
sleep
fall
good.
asleep and have the craziest fucking dreams.
That's funny, dude. See, I'll definitely like close my eyes and see shit and stuff, and then 30 minutes later, usually if I'm listening to music, um, that's when it's a fun thing to do, is just eat some mushrooms and listen to cool music and close your eyes. But not sleeping, dude. That was bananas to me. Sitting here watching some fucking where we watch shit about murder and stuff, that while you're passed out and snoring and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. Yeah. Why did I choose this? Did I ever tell you about when did I ever tell you about when I ate the mushrooms when I went to that show, and then I had set the mouse trap here?
No.
Oh, dude. So I had some mice in the house, right? And I was sitting up watching a movie with Lex, and I just see something run across the screen. I was like, "Oh fuck, was that a mouse?" And I'm like, I thought I heard something the other night too, and so I'd never had some mice before, dude. And I was like, I went and got some mouse traps, and I set them out, and then I put peanut butter on it first. They took the peanut butter, didn't get the trap, didn't get them, and then I put some like American cheese. They took that shit too. So finally, I got like this spreadable cheese, and I spread it on this thing, and it like hardens and stuff. And so, anyways, I left them out. Hadn't caught a mouse in a few days, and then I went to one of them shows over at like Blind Onion, and I ate like a bunch of mushrooms, and I was
I
sitting.
remember that show because I remember you being.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta go.
Yeah, so there was that night, right? So I'm like, the show kind of sucked, dude. It was not that funny, so far. Um, I think I went to. Were you performing? Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd gone to see. I think I went to see you, and then there was a couple of people on. I was like, I can't do this. I think maybe,
Yeah, I was featuring on that. I was going to feature on that show.
And I'd come out to watch you, but I was like, I had too much.
Ryan Holloway from the Bay Area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ryan's funny. So it was just the whole thing was too much for me when the mushrooms hit, and so I went home, and I made some food, and for some dumbass reason I ended up watching another thing about murder, but I made all this food, and I'm like psyched to sit down and eat. I'm just gonna sit here, eat this. I'm gonna feel better and chill out. And so the food's hot. I sit down to eat it, and right as I'm about to take a bite, I hear. And I was like, duh. And I'm like, high as fuck on mushrooms, right? And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, I totally, forgetting that I'd set these fucking traps, And I set my food down, and I go into the kitchen. I look, and I see the trap turned over, and I'm like, and then the tail sticking out, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, it's dead. Dude, I'm like, oh, dude. I was like, that thing was alive. I shouldn't have done this, dude. And I'm just like, and I'm like, oh, and I'm feeling bad, dude. And I have to get I grab like a plastic bag and scoop it up and shit in there, and zip it up so it doesn't stink. Go throw it in the garbage can, and then I'm like, fuck. And I go to sit down, and I don't want to eat my food. It's all cold and stuff, dude. I'm like, oh, dude, I can't eat now. And then I turn on this show, and someone's getting murdered and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, dude. And so finally, I'm like, I turn it off. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna heat my food. I need to eat this food. I'll feel better. And so I heat my food back up, and I go sit back down, and I put on something different, and I hear pop, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, the other one, seriously? And so I get up, there's another dead mouse, dude. My food gets cold again. I end up not eating it, dude. Yeah, that shit. That's why I don't usually eat mushrooms alone. You know what I mean? I think it's also why I was giving you so much shit about falling asleep, dude.
That's not the only time I've fallen asleep.
Yeah,
taking mushrooms. Like I said, I have a tendency to fall asleep, and just have.
Well, wasn't that like your first? Wasn't that like your first time doing them? Or
That,
like,
that was my first time. But then since I've
that's what
I mean
I think. That's what.
I probably haven't done mushrooms in probably about 6 months now.
Yeah.
But I took them, you know, a decent amount of times between then and the last time I've taken them, and I buy I was buying the psilocybin chocolate bars and stuff, and because I found out that, you know, 3 squares is my perfect amount.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to be
And
able to
fall asleep then, but if I
dial
take
it in
4
like
squares,
that.
I fall asleep, and then I have the craziest fucking dreams.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Like good dreams or bad dreams?
Well, I did the bit about it where
Yeah.
the fucking ceiling was like peeling off layers, changing colors, and then there was one. The next one was like this like brownish thing, and then peeled back, and it was actually a scab.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. That's super scary. Fuck. I mean, I've seen weird shit like that, dude. I remember closing my eyes and just feeling like there's this red thing that was gonna eat me, dude.
No matter, none of my dreams have been nowhere near as bad as when I took peyote, which I would never do again in my life.
Yeah, that's a bold move right there, the peyote, dude. How old were you when you did that?
I was either just about to turn 18 or I was 18. I was on broadcast, because I went to broadcast school when I was 17 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was during the time I was shortly after I started broadcasting school, and I was the younger guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was, high school. I just got done with high school and was there, and everybody else at broadcasting school was like in their mid-20s to mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
It was like their second choice on a job. They tried something else, or some of them went to the military and got out of the military, or someone went to college and didn't like what they went to college for.
Was it like authentic Native American shit or what?
I think so. I was out in the middle of the desert in Arizona because I was in Phoenix for broadcasting school, and they were like, "Oh yeah, come out and hang out with us. Come out and party with us. We're gonna get a cake." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I'm 17 and a half, 18. I'm like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
And so I went out there, and yeah, they thought it was, they had me, "Oh, take this." I'm like, "What is it?" It's called peyote. I didn't even know what peyote was then.
Did you just
I hadn't seen the movie The Doors yet or anything.
That's what they did in that scene in Young Guns, dude.
Yeah.
Remember where they went in the spirit world? Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I took this peyote, and it's a liquid. It's like a tea almost. And I took it, and yeah, I was literally, probably 25, 30 minutes later, freaking out for like the next 3 days.
Dude, 3 days?
It's
Holy
what it seemed
shit.
like to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think on any psychedelic you lose kind of concept of time.
Yeah.
And reality in general. But damn, dude, that's crazy. That's pretty cool though.
No, it wasn't cool.
I mean, it's a cool.
It was a horrible experience.
I bet, dude. I bet it's I mean, it's cool to hear about your horrible experience. Makes for a good story for me. So
it made for a good bit. That bit usually worked.
Yeah, for sure, man. Doing peyote's wild. I mean, after hearing that, it makes me feel less like doing it.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how a lot of psychedelics I think can be. Mushrooms tend to be my,
Yeah,
we already told one of my acid stories last week.
Yeah,
it's a little intense for me.
My acid story we've told before on here.
Yeah,
I won't do it again. So
yeah, it's a little intense at times and stuff. Some people just love it. I find it interesting how a lot of times people have a preference of one versus the other. All right, buddy, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right.
That was episode 2.
Episode 2. Rub some dirt on it. Second was another great episode. We'll see you guys, on the next one soon.
That was Rub Some Dirt On It podcast with Brandon Straker and Jeff Pierce.
Back in my day, we walked uphill both ways. No Wi-Fi to guide us, no TikTok craze. We skinned our knees, we took the hit. Now you're whining, kid. Rub some dirt on it. You cry over lights on your little phone screen. We cried when our bikes hit a rock unseen. But we got back up, we didn't throw a fit. Just dust it off, kid. Rub some dirt on it. Rub some dirt on it. Life's not that tough. You You ain't made of glass, you're built to be rough. Suck it up, buttercup, don't you dare quit. Just grin and bear it. Rub some dirt on it. Teenagers today, with their fragile pride, can't handle a splinter or a bumpy ride. But life's a bitch, he'll give you shit. Dust it off and rub some dirt on it. Some dirt on it, life's not that tough. You ain't made of glass, you're built to be rough. Suck it up, buttercup, don't you dare quit. Just grin and bear it. Rub some dirt